Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day and a great start to the holiday season. I want to talk to you today about running your race, running your own race, right? So many times we look at other people and we wish we had their life, or we judge ourselves and look at other people and say, why don't I have that? I should be further. We compare ourselves and then feel less than, feel like we're not doing enough or that we're not enough. And unfortunately, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So everybody is unique. Everyone was born with their own passions, their own desires, their own uh, goals, their own favorite things to do, and all of our cute little idiosyncrasies and quirks that make us unique, right? So when we look at somebody else and want their life or want to do like them, what we're doing is we're actually living externally, and it causes us undue stress. So what I want to do is I'm going to talk about a couple techniques you can do today, some simple things that will help you run your own race, help you feel better about where you are, help you accept that you're right where you're supposed to be, and learn how to take all of the events of life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and see them as momentum building you towards your future. Okay. So we're heading into the holiday season. Right now, a lot of times we get really stressed, feeling like I haven't done everything I was wanted to do for this year. I didn't check all the boxes. Maybe you haven't made the progress you want, or you had a bucket list or goals of things you wanted to succeed at, and you're not there yet. And that's okay, right? We may be trying to figure out how to get in the right mindset, the holiday spirit, to invest time, money, and energy in the people we love, or to start the new year with momentum. I want to help you understand how to run your own race and to embrace your life, to see that it is actually happening for you. Okay. So, first thing, whenever we are looking at other people and comparing their life to ours, the thing is you're never going to be that other person. No one's ever going to be a better version of you than you. Even twins are not as similar as we think. They look alike and there's similarities, but they have their own specific wants and desires and needs that make them unique. So you're never going to be someone else. Okay. So we have to let go of, I'm in personal development. I'm a life coach. I'm a business coach. I'm a therapist. I do all these things. I look at people, I don't look like a Tony Robbins or an Aubrey Marcus or a Dr. Joe Dispenza and say, oh man, I want to have their life. I should be like them. Now, I've gone through these times in my life where I've looked at them and been like, oh man, you have some envy and you wish you were as successful or at that level. But that doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do you any good. All you're doing is you're shifting a couple things in the way your mindset works and your behaviors work, which are actually setting you back from getting where you want to go. So, what I want to do is I want to give you some techniques, some tips, and explain some things you're doing so you can shift them into something else that'll be more beneficial for you. So, number one, when you look at somebody else and you see their life and say, I want to have that life. My friends are all getting married. They're all running businesses. They're all traveling all the time. That's external thinking versus internal thinking. What you're doing is you're looking at the world outside of yourself and wanting it to change so that you will change. You're wanting the things outside to be different so you feel better inside. So you're comparing your external world to your internal world. The things you're seeing are making you feel less than. They're making you feel angry or frustrated or depressed. So what we have to do is we have to shift that and say, what can I look at that's happening out there that I can do to change inside me? So if my friends are all meeting someone and getting married, what do I need to change about myself so I can be someone who finds a relationship? Because that's what that's about, right? It's a lack of relationship or friendships or a social life. So rather than looking and wishing you had what they had, say, what do I need to do to get to a place where I can have that in my life as well? That turns you from being external to being internal. So you take that thing out there and say, what can I bring inside myself that brings me value from that? I can look at my friends and see that they're all being social. They're getting out, they're being kind, they're working on themselves, they're being healthy. What are the things they're doing internally that are giving them that external viewpoint for you? And make that shift from external to internal. Okay. The other thing is, this is a big one I talk about all the time, the difference between being emotional in your thinking and being objective in your thinking. When you look at someone else and feel less than, or you look at yourself and think, I don't feel good, I don't like myself, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm guilty, I'm depressed, that is emotional thinking. Emotional thinking is supposed to be something that triggers you to take action. I feel angry, so the anger is telling me there's something in my life I need to change. Someone has disrespected me or offended me or has stepped over my ethics or morals, and I need to make an adjustment in our relationship. I feel sad. Sadness means there's something in your life you're missing. So you need to figure out what that thing is and put more of that in your life, but you take action. Emotions cause us a lot of times to feel stuck. We feel angry and we stay in our anger. We feel depressed and we stay in our depression, but they're not supposed to do that. Emotions are supposed to be a signal that tells you what to go take action on. So if I feel angry, then what I'm supposed to do is say, why do I feel angry? Oh, I feel angry because this person didn't respect my point of view. So therefore, I need to go take action to get my point of view respected, which is either communicate better with the person, be better at standing up for myself, remove this person from my life, whatever that action is, but always do it in a healthy manner. And it should tell you what you need to do to continue to progress and to grow as a person. So emotions should be a signal that are guiding you on what you need to take action on. Objective thinking is when you can just look at something logically and reason it. Here's option A, option B. This option's safer and I make more money. Okay, option A. That's objective thinking. You can just measure it out, look at the options, and make a choice. The goal is to get in your life to where you look at things objectively instead of emotionally. So you don't say, I feel like I'm cursed. Life never works for me. I'm so frustrated. Nobody likes me. Nothing's ever worked. That's emotional. Instead, you say, everything in life must be happening for me. What do I need to learn from it? Where am I forcing or fighting life where I need to instead be listening and watching and learning? So emotional versus objective. When we're objective, even when things aren't going well, we say, well, maybe God, maybe the universe, whatever you want to call it, is saving me from a disaster. I had a job opportunity I was interviewing with for months, and all of a sudden it fell through. Guess what? That's a blessing. I know it's hard to hear it right now, and we always fight this, and this is why we struggle in life. But the thing is, first of all, life's not going to always happen like you want it to. Sorry to put that spoiler out there. It's not going to always go as you expected. Expectations are a greatest source of disappointment. Life's not going to go how you planned, but you have to trust and surrender that it's going to get you where you're supposed to be. So when you don't get that job, when that relationship doesn't work out, when that goal doesn't happen, it typically means there's something better around the corner. But the thing is, instead of fighting it and getting frustrated and upset and causing yourself collateral damage or taking another path, what you have to do is say, it's a blessing. I understand that's happening for me. The relationship ended because there's someone better down the road, or it saved me from toxicity in my life. That career opportunity didn't happen because there's a better one down the road, or maybe that company was not the right one for me. So we have to make these shifts. We shift from being external and looking at other people and wanting our life to be like them, understanding that we have our own path. Then we have to move from being emotional in our thinking to objective in our thinking. So we learn from the emotions and say, oh, this is trying to teach me something. It's trying to protect me and tell me what I need to work on. And being objective and saying, okay, when this happens to me, when I don't get the opportunity, when I don't get the job, it's telling me that that's something I shouldn't be doing and there's something better coming down the road, right? It's all shaping you. Just like water going through the Grand Canyon. You have to move and navigate through these challenges and experiences. What happens is they stretch and they strengthen you. So when you get to the other side, you're prepared for the thing that's coming up. Sometimes we get an opportunity to be with a person or an opportunity for a career, for a job, and we're so excited, but the thing is, you're not really ready for it. If you went into that opportunity right now, that dream job, you may fail. You may not stay there. You may end up getting let go because you weren't really ready for it. So sometimes God, sometimes the universe closes that door. And all of a sudden you spend another year or two working on yourself and either a better door opens or that door comes back and you go, now I understand why that didn't happen because I wasn't really ready. If any of you know me, I just went through this myself. I just completed my first retreat, my Action Mastery retreat in Tulum, which was just a dream come true. But I've been working on this for kind of like a decade, like different iterations of doing this retreat. But the thing was, it didn't happen for many reasons, which I can see clearly now. I couldn't see it back then. But the first time I tried to do it, I was ready to go, ready to rock and roll. And the team I had wasn't ready, just simply put. They weren't ready and they weren't the right team at that time. So we worked on it for a while and then it fizzled out. And I was frustrated. I thought, oh, what happened? Then a couple of years later, we started to build it back up again, got another team, and it looked pretty good and it was going. And then all of a sudden, I got an opportunity and I had to step away. And I was the reason it didn't happen. And then we started to build it back up a couple of years ago. And then the pandemic happened and nobody was really traveling. So we decided not the best time to do it. But this past 2 years, I decided to do it and we launched it and we just finished it in November this year. And it was a dream come true. And I can tell you clearly right now, I can see all the reasons why it didn't happen in the past. I wasn't ready. No matter what happened with anyone else, no matter what happened with the pandemic, I was not ready. I was not the person I needed to be yet to make that happen. And so the relationships that ended, the partnerships that ended, the things that didn't come through, the pandemic, all the stuff that happened was a blessing. Because if I had tried to force it, or if I would have actually accomplished doing it before, it never would have been what it turned out being right now, which was just a beautiful, magnificent experience. because I went through all of the training I needed to go through. I went through all the experiences, the stretching and the challenges. I went through my Grand Canyon, and it turned me into what I needed to be to make that a success. Okay. So the other thing is, when we look at other people, we want their life. What we're doing is, again, we're being external. So we're not learning, we're not growing with ourselves. We're just comparing ourselves. The thing you need to do is show up as the best version of yourself each day. This is the other reason why a lot of times opportunities or relationships don't work or don't happen for us. We want something really bad, but we're not really ready for it. We're not really the person that deserves it or the person that's ready to do it yet. So I always say every problem you have can be solved by being the best version of yourself, and it can. If you're thinking with the best mindset, if you're feeling with the best heart, if you've got the best tools, the communication, the emotional intelligence, all the resources you need, and something is put in front of you, an opportunity, you're ready to take that opportunity right now and to maximize it, to optimize it and succeed. But if you're not working on yourself, if you can't say to yourself right now, I'm in the best health I've ever been in, my mindset's where I want to be, I'm clear, I'm aligned, I'm balanced, I'm healthy, I'm a good person, I've taken care of all the baggage and the noise I've got in the back of my mind, I'm facing all the repressed issues, I'm doing work all the time. Those are the things that make you prepared. If you've got a lot of areas where you can say, health, I need to work a lot on my health. Relationships, I really need to improve them. I need to improve myself. I'm not a good listener. I'm not patient. I'm not kind to people. I think about myself a lot, not others. I'm not very grateful or giving. Then there's a lot of work to do. And that's not a bad thing. That's a fantastic thing, because it means it's just step after step after step of improvement that's possible for you. You're just going to get better and better and better, right? That's the great thing. So this is not a bad thing, but it means you're not ready to take that final step if you have these steps to take, right? Like imagine you were going to go into like a competition, like a fitness competition. You don't want the competition to be tomorrow and you step up on stage and say, let's go. I think most everybody would say, give me a little time to get in my best shape, right? I want to cut out some things, start eating better, work out, do some yoga, walk, meditate, really get myself in ideal shape, and then have the competition. It's kind of like the same thing in life, but we don't see it that way. If the end of the road comes, the end goal, the end dream career, or the dream person in your life, and you haven't been working on those things, you're not really the best version of yourself. I call it the ideal you. You're not ready to receive those amazing gifts. So how do we solve that? Number one, we work on ourselves consistently. We're disciplined. We show up every day as the best version of ourselves. And the way we do that is through personal growth. We meditate, we do breath work, we set goals. We just do things every day and every week to consistently make sure we're being the best version of ourselves, that you're seeing progress every day, right? There is no there. So we're not racing towards the end. It's a lifestyle, meaning that every day you wake up and you do these things. Every day you focus on yourself. Every day you make sure you're being better. And there's never a negative. You just wake up and say, oh, what do I want to work on today? I'm not the best version of myself. Today, I'm going to work on being a little more patient. Tomorrow, this week, I'm going to be a little more kind. I'm going to go out, I'm going to smile and like see how many people I can make smile back at me. Today, maybe I'm just going to surrender. Maybe I'm just going to appreciate life and be grateful and not ask for something else. But you have to continue to work on yourself so that you get better and better and better. And the great thing is a couple steps along this path, a couple little techniques, couple days, couple weeks, and all of a sudden you feel fantastic. It's not like you have to wait years. Once you get started, you start building momentum quickly and you already start to feel better in your mind, your body, and your spirit, okay? So I said it a minute ago too, the other thing is surrendering. You have to truly understand that everything in life is happening for you. What I mean by this is one of two things is happening. Either you have a goal or something you're working on and it happens and it's a success and you build momentum to your future and it takes you to the next opportunity, or it doesn't work out. And what it is it's an opportunity to grow and to learn. When it doesn't work out, either there's something you need to learn, something you need to do that it didn't happen because of that, like I wasn't prepared, I needed to have another resource, I wasn't ready, I wasn't the best candidate to learn something, do something, or it's teaching you a lesson, it's protecting you from something. This is not the ideal person for you to be with. This is not your dream person. This is not the dream job and you think it is. What we do though, unfortunately, and this is so important, what we do is we push and we force. Somebody says, I'm not going to give you the job, or I don't want to be in the relationship. And we beat them. No, be in the relationship. You got to be like, want to be in that relationship. You have to. We're supposed to be together. This is supposed to be a thing. I know it. And instead of listening to instead of surrendering to what's going on and believing it's happening for us, we try to force it. I'm going to force them to give me the job. I'm going to force that person to be with me. I'm going to force this thing to happen. And it never works well. And even if you get the person to come back or you get them to take you for the job, it doesn't take very long. And all of a sudden it fizzles out and you go, oh, it didn't work out. Because the thing was, it was never meant to work out. You're just trying to force it. You're taking the wrong path. So the trick, the real discipline here is surrendering. When something happens, just say, okay, step back and say, let me observe it. Let me take a leaflet on this. They say take a flyer on it and go, let me see how I feel in a week or two. Let me see what happens in a month or so. I've had so many clients work with me that were working towards career opportunities, either a promotion in their company, they're going to open their own business or do something, and they've got everything invested in this thing. And all of a sudden, something doesn't happen, it doesn't work out. And everybody's crushed and they think, oh, I worked so long. Why didn't this happen? I thought that I was going to have this thing. And all of a sudden, a week later, a month later, 2 months later, bam, the better thing shows up. And they go, oh my God, Brett, this is crazy. You were telling me this. I can't believe you're so right. Like if I'd have had that job then, I never could have even taken the job. I never would have interviewed because I'd have been busy somewhere else. If I'd have been with that person, I'd have never taken that trip to Cancun or that trip to Canada and met that person. That's what happens, but it only happens when you surrender. So the more you're forcing, the longer you're keeping yourself from the growth and from the path you're supposed to be on, okay? Don't force it. So again, if you want to learn to run your own race, here's the things you have to do. Number one, most important thing, focus on yourself. Focus on improving yourself, making yourself feel good, finding peace of mind and love for yourself, and then saying, what can I work on incrementally each day, step by step, to make myself better? A little more patient, a little more healthy, a little better communication, a little more emotional intelligence, working harder at my career, getting more inspired, just step by step by step. Okay? That's the most important thing. Then what you have to do is you have to surrender. Surrender to the process and trust that everything is happening for you. Just try this for a little bit. Give it 30 days, give it 1 week, give it 7 days, and I guarantee you'll see the difference. Anything that happens, you step back and go, let me check this really quick. It's either a success and I'm building momentum, or it's an opportunity to grow and I'm supposed to learn something. It's teaching me something, or it's protecting me from something because I'm supposed to be waiting for a better opportunity, right? That's it. If you can do those two huge things, your entire life will change. And then each day, show up as the best version of yourself. If I've got that vision, that goal out there of what I want to become, what I want to do, it's out there. But the thing is, it's a year or 2 or 3 down the road. I have to show up every day, 365 days for the next year to get there. So it's not about day 366. It's about the 365 on the way. It's about today, day one. I got to be the best version of me today so I can get there. I build the best momentum, the best results. I make the best decisions. You don't want to be the angry version of yourself trying to go on that journey, or the sad version of yourself going on that journey, because guess what? They don't take the same journey. They take a different path. You're trying to go over there and the sad person goes here. The angry one goes over there. And you're like, why aren't I getting anywhere? Because the angry version of you doesn't go to the same place you want to go. Only the ideal version of you gets where you want to be. Does that make sense? If you want to be the ideal, what's the ideal version of you? What's your ideal relationship and career and health and fitness and spirituality and hobbies and personal growth? And when you know what that is, work on making that your reality every day. Work on one step of that every day. You're putting a gold brick in the foundation of your future every single day. Now that person knows where they're going. That person is building momentum to that vision out there, and they're on that path. They're not the sad or the angry person that's totally missing the mark. But you have to know who you want to be and show up each day. Show up with a good attitude and make some progress. Just take at least one step every day. When something happens, even if you're doing this process and something goes wrong or doesn't work, then you say, I remember what Brett said. This is either an opportunity for growth, it's protecting me, or I'm making momentum through success. And that's it. And then when things happen and you have emotions, when you get angry or sad or fearful, surrender again and remind yourself that these emotions are a signal. They're telling you something. They're telling you exactly what you need to do and what you need to adjust in your life. Ask yourself, how is it helping me? And make the adjustments, okay? So trust me, if you go through these steps, you're running your own race. You're a beautiful person. You're exactly as you're supposed to be, exactly as you are. You're perfect. The thing is, you have to embrace it. Only you can love yourself the most, and then others can love you. You're the one that will choose your course by choosing that you're on the right course, that you're where you're supposed to be, and life is happening for you. I hope this helps you. Hope to help you get into a great holiday spirit. And most importantly, that it gives some momentum at the end of the year so you can launch into 2024 with a new level of encouragement, confidence, and passion for what you're going to achieve. And remember, as always, extraordinary is only a thought away. We'll see you soon. If you have any questions, send me a DM. I'm excited to hear what you experienced from this.